Hello, it's been 10 full days of jojoba in my life. The first 7, of course, were just in the evenings to ease my skin into the whole experience, and now it's been 3 full days of using jojoba twice a day, including under my makeup. It's been a good experience overall. My skin has improved, as in I don't break out anymore. I don't usually break out a lot, but when I was using benzoyl peroxide, I would break out once in a while, and when I did, it was like a big juicy one that, was very, very noticeable. It would be red, it would be inflamed, and I would have the urge to pop it, and sometimes I would, more often than not, in fact, because when your skin is clear and you have one pimple somewhere obvious, you just want to get rid of it. And that's not a good thing that I was doing, but I mean, I put polysporin on it afterwards, etc., etc., so at least I was popping my pimples right. However, on jojoba, I don't break out, but I have some congested skin. I've mentioned this in the last couple of videos. It started on about day 5 of using jojoba oil, and this congestion is quite annoying, and I'm very, very tempted to get rid of it, but I'm not, because I want the skin to learn to self-regulate. But what I mean by congestion is that I get tiny bumps that are, they're clogged, but they're tiny. Like, I can't emphasize enough how small they are. However, today I woke up and yesterday I noticed this one growing on my chin. Today though, it's actually smaller. So I thought there would be a breakout on my chin, but I'm feeling it now, even though I shouldn't be. And yeah, it's not going anywhere, it's not exploding, it's not inflamed, it's not painful. However, I have another one. You can't see it. I'm wearing a little bit of concealer and mineral powder today on top of my jojoba, and it's very easy to conceal any kind of breakout or the beginning of a breakout that I've had on jojoba, because like I said, they're not red, they're not inflamed, they're kind of under the surface of the skin, they're just right there. You can hardly see a visible bump. However, this one on the forehead is kind of a visible bump, and it's a frustrating one because I haven't had any breakouts in a while, and it's not the jojoba though. I kind of thought about this long and hard, like what's changed. My diet has been quite good, except I had a few days of indulging in Portland and Seattle, and now in Vancouver I'm on a new thing. It's called the Whole30, where I am, well, you should just go to the website and see what it is, but it's a really healthy way of eating where you can reset your system and get rid of all that ails you, basically. And on this kind of system, or diet, I don't want to call it a diet because it's not about cutting calories, it's not about anything like that. It's about actually normalizing your system and rebalancing everything, including your hormones, but specifically your hunger hormones and those messages that are sent to your brain telling you to stop eating, enough's enough, etc., etc. So it's really cool. I'm almost done reading this book, and it's amazing. I couldn't put it down because it has a really great way of explaining the things that we need to know about the food that's out there, all in one place, instead of researching a bunch of blog posts, etc. Because I do like reading about nutrition. It's one of my favorite things. I don't know, diet books, they're so fascinating to me, and often when I start reading one, I can't put it down. I want to know. I want to know everything. And so far, that's what happened to me when I read the 80-10-10 book, and I read the Bulletproof Diet book. Both diets I tried, they didn't work for me. The first was it was vegan, so it didn't work for me. It was crazy. I think it was a little too extreme for what my blood type is and who I am. But I was good. I was consistent for 4 months. I was vegan. And then I tried the Bulletproof Diet, not immediately after the vegan one. I was kind of just eating whatever for a while, and then I tried the the bulletproof diet, and it did not work for me. But, and in fact, I kind of started gaining weight on it, and I couldn't. It was just, I was really frustrated because I don't like, being bigger than I am. I like being who I am, and anything bigger is not who I am. I've always been pretty like petite and slender. So that one freaked me out for that reason. But also what I realized on a bulletproof diet is that I have some kind of sensitivity or whatnot to saturated fats. Saturated fats are the ones that are hard or solid at room temperature. So that means like coconut oil, for sure, I have a reaction to. Clarified butter, ghee, and I was also eating a ton of avocados because the bulletproof diet tells you to have a lot of fat with your vegetables. So I was eating a lot more fat than I was used to eating, and I probably didn't ease into it too much. In fact, this is what I do. When I start a new diet, I just go like this, and I do it. I'm like, that's it. I'm trying this, and that's it. So, and I quit, or I started being vegan the same way. It was like one day I'm eating meat, the next day I'm eating no meat products, no animal products, nothing like that. I even quit eggs, which I love eggs. Anyway, so yeah, what I realized on the bulletproof diet is that I have a sensitivity to saturated fats. In fact, I was breaking out more than ever on that diet, especially my forehead, which is an area of my face where I hardly ever break out on. So the last couple of days I have been eating more avocado, and like it's been the last 3 days of avocados with 2 out of 3 of my meals. And I think that has everything to do with this pimple that's growing on my forehead, because this one is legit. Everything else that the jojoba may have caused, any other congestion, those are not legitimate pimples. The only legitimate pimple that I now have is growing right there, and hopefully with manuka and jojoba I will be able to just let it pass. I'm determined not to pop this one pimple. It's going to be difficult because it's in the middle of my forehead, but I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try not to touch it. So it's important to listen to your body and understand what causes certain reactions. This can also be caused by the fact that I had dairy a couple of days ago as well, but I think it's more likely, not a couple of days ago, it was like over 3 days ago that I had dairy in a croissant. So I had gluten. I had all the things that I'm not supposed to have. So it's no surprise that my skin is now rebelling against what I did. And that croissant was worth it. If this is the croissant, it was worth it, because I'm telling you guys, the croissants at Storyville Coffee in Seattle are just so magnificent. I can still taste it in my mouth. It's that good. It was so buttery, so rich, and so doughy, and then crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, just the way it's supposed to be. I'm gonna stop talking about croissants. So I'm continuing with this jojoba oil thing. I'm not gonna steam my face. I'm so tempted to steam my face and just get rid of all the congestion. A distance, my face looks normal. I mean, this close, you can be like very close to me and you will not see any breakouts. It's just, I know that it's not as smooth. It's like I feel slight bumps, and I'm used to having very smooth skin, so this is not good. But again, there's that purge that happens with jojoba, so this could be completely normal, and I'm gonna let it be. It's very difficult to just let it be. I will update you on my experience. Hopefully this pimple doesn't get any bigger to the point where it will be totally obvious on camera. But hey, if it is, it's just part of the experience. I mean, I can't freak out over one pimple, For all intents and purposes, my skin is now normal. So as long as I, lay off the gluten, the dairy, and evidently the avocado, I'm going to be fine. My skin's going to be clear. And the jojoba is not going to make it any worse, And another thing I should add is I haven't exfoliated my skin since I've started using the jojoba, and even maybe days before that. I mean, the last thing that I did to exfoliate was use my Paula's Choice 2% salicylic acid toner. But I haven't used a manual exfoliator on my skin I honestly don't remember the last time I exfoliated for reals. When I lived in Toronto, because I've been traveling for almost 2 months now, but back in Toronto I exfoliate about once a week. My skin was smooth, it was very smooth, and there was no tiny congestion, but I would get the occasional bigger pimple. So that's the difference. Now I have the tiny congestion and no real pimples. So I think I'd rather keep this current kind of skin situation rather than go back to the old one and have to use a ton of products to maintain it. Now I'll let my skin do its thing using jojoba twice a day and for another week. So it's been a week, like I said, of jojoba in the evenings, then a week of jojoba twice a day, and then the third week I'm going to look into maybe adding some kind of, baking soda or sugar granules to my Manuka honey when I wash my face, and just exfoliate like once a week. Maybe that will be the solution to clearing this stuff out. Summer's coming and sweating and all this stuff, so I'm thinking when that happens I might introduce an apple cider vinegar to my skincare routine as well, just to have some exfoliating, like chemical exfoliation happen gently. So there's lots of options to consider, but I'm definitely doing the natural route now. I'm kind of really enjoying it. I'm addicted to it in a good way, not like in a crazy way. I'm not addicted to anything technically. I was addicted to sugar. By the way, it's been 3 days of not eating any sugar and of following this Whole30, I don't want to call it a diet, Whole30 program, where you make really healthy choices and take care of your body, and all you eat basically is meat, vegetables, a ton of vegetables, and a little bit of healthy fats and nuts. So it's a really nice way to be, and I've noticed that I don't crave as much sugar and I'm fuller for longer, so it's nice. But now there's another 27 days of this. I'm doing the jojoba thing, I'm doing the even healthier eating thing, lots of positive changes. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry this video ran a little long. Please subscribe to my channel, visit olenaloves.com for some awesome blog posts on the subject of acne and this jojoba experiment and benzoyl peroxide and why I quit it. And you can check out my earlier videos in this jojoba series, because every day it's a little different, so you can see what you can expect on any given day starting your jojoba journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you very shortly. Bye.